Hi there, Zam here from NerdTube. These are my thoughts and spoilers of the Tulsa King season 3, episode 6, Bubbles. Now, all I have to say about this episode is breaker breaker 19. We're going on a road trip here because that's what this episode was pretty much about. Not necessarily the destination, but the journey. Because we had several road trips in this episode by our distinguished cast. But I want to get to the end of this episode first of all, because I really feel that we need to just talk about that initially because it's brief and it's over for Armand. He has committed suicide. He has killed himself. He was found hanging in some motel room in God knows where. And that's it. Armand's out of the picture. And I am a bit upset by this because what a way to get rid of a character off screen. I know probably the actor probably wasn't available, or I don't know what's happened to this actor for him not to be in this season and maybe no longer be able to be part of Tulsa King. I mean, obviously, him being a significant character, they had to deal with him in some capacity, and so now Armand is no more. And will we find out more about this? Maybe next week. But there's a lot on the plate for several of these characters. They got shit raining in from them in several directions. So we'll see how that plays. And Bill Bevilacqua, well, people think he's been whacked because the feds have him under custody and they are not letting him go. And people are asking questions. Goody's asking questions, wondering who to blame for all of this. He actually kind of looks at Dwight as one of the reasons why Bill might have disappeared. Sorry about my birds. But Dwight has to keep his cards close to his chest because he's only told his sister about what's really happening regarding the feds and his involvement with them. But he doesn't want to tell anybody else, including, his I guess his consigliere in Goody. But because people won't necessarily understand what's going on, and they'll start feeling worried and betrayed and whatever. And the next, Dwight's gonna get whacked himself. But regardless, Bill is not dead. He is alive, and we'll see when he finally gets released. Or he might end up working with Manfredi to capture the watchmaker or wherever the fuck that guy is. But he wasn't involved in this episode. But as I said earlier, we have some road trips. So let's get on with the least talked about interesting road trip, and that was between Bodhi and Grace. I had no idea where the fuck they were going, and they had some little moments with each other here and there. And Bodhi, ever the optimist, and I say that as sarcastically, he's kind of accepted the life that he's in because he's making lots of money. Grace has kind of evolved now. She's become a little bit of a badass herself, and she's loving the money she's making. But Bodhi is always skeptical. He's always worried, to be more honest, about who truly Bodhi is. But he can't say no to that moolah. Dwight is making him a lot of money, and he wants to keep it regardless of how dangerous the circumstances are for him. And he understands that, but he just can't say no to that money. But at least he's a realist, knowing that not everything is sunshine and rainbows. He knows he can get whacked at any moment, and there's every possibility for maybe a misunderstanding regarding one of Bodhi's right-hand men, or just because he's related to Dwight, associated with Dwight, somebody might kill him just for that alone. And as I said, there's various reasons why he could get whacked. But that's them two done. I want to move on to the middle pairing, which was Mitch and Chloe. Is it Chloe or Cleo? But regardless, them two, these lovely darlings, they go on a road trip to distribute the alcohol because Dwight can't sell the alcohol that he has. With the accident that happened to the well, it wasn't necessarily an accident, but the health inspector who was on last week who got whacked. uh Dwight's claiming that it was an accident, and so police are investigating. But regardless, none of that shit can be solved whilst there's an investigation. So they're illegally going to smuggle their alcohol across the country. And one of the places is this geezer that Dwight knows, whose name escapes me right now, but he's in some rural part of America. And Mitch and Cleo go on a little road trip and to basically offload some of that booze to him. But whilst doing that, they encounter a police officer who kind of reminds me of the look Robert Patrick had in Terminator 2, the sort of biker policeman helmet look and all of that. I'm not sure if they're paying homage to that or not, but regardless, he's under Cole Dunmire's payroll, and he's just there to basically fuck things over for Mitch and Chloe Cleo, and he does so to a degree until his back is turned, and Mitch basically gets one over on this copper, knocks him out, breaks his radio, punches his cycle tires, and gets the fuck out of Dodge. Ends up selling the whiskey to this geezer in some remote part of the world, and his job is done. So now we go on to the main man himself, Dwight Manfredi, who's going to somewhere in Arkansas to meet Quiet Ray. As you can see, Quiet Ray is pointing to Dwight, and things get a little bit heated. Actually, before I kind of go there, let me quickly do a little sidestep here and quickly talk about Dunmire and his son Cole, because Dunmire is really pissed off. Like, he knows Cole has a thing for Chloe Cleo, whatever the fuck her name is. I need to actually get her name right because I can't keep calling her Chloe or Cleo. Her name is, let me just get it. Which one? I know it's one of those C's. Cleo. All right. Obviously, he still has a thing for Cleo, which is crazy, but he's got a really hot stripper girlfriend, if you remember her. And he's obviously made moves on Spencer as well, but regardless, he still wants Cleo. And he's trying to obviously get back with her, or in a way like fuck up her life to a degree, like an incel, by getting that cop on her. But Dunmire Senior doesn't like all of that shit. Like, look, are we just trying to stop some people selling a bit of booze, or are we trying to go for the fucking, for the man at the top, which is Dwight Manfredi, the guy who's orchestrating everything? We need to go after him, not some of his fucking underlings. So he's basically telling his son, one way or another, we need to stop this shit. We need to take care of Manfredi today. And so Cole, in a way, tries to get Manfredi by catching him on the road, but Dwight is already one step ahead of him by having Bigfoot in another vehicle, basically stop the guys from chasing him, Dwight that is, by using Bigfoot as a person to intervene. And that does work for a bit, but Cole is not amongst those guys trying to catch Dwight initially. He's following behind himself, and he follows Dwight all the way to this hotel where Dwight is staying to meet Quiet Ray. And there's a really intense meeting, by the way, between Quiet Ray and Dwight. It's a really good meeting, but Ray is greedy as fuck. He knows that Dwight's got some businesses down here, and he's not taking, any small chunk of change from Dwight. He wants it all. He demands 80% of Dwight's business. And Dwight's fucking vexed. Like, what the fuck? You were 80% from me? He couldn't believe it. And the meanwhile, fucking Cole is also hunting down Dwight at this hotel, and he's ready to take him out. And he puts on some camouflage gear and some masks and stuff. And even though there's a whole bunch of fucking mafiosos at this meeting in this hotel, including Vinny as well, by the way, he paid his respect. And Vinny's looking like a right little bitch right now. He needs to do something to toughen up his image because he's looking like a hanger-on. But regardless, Cole thought, fuck this, I'm going to take out Dwight regardless of who's at the table with him. And fortunately for Dwight, Bigfoot snuffs out the attack before it happens, and Dwight and Quiet Ray and everybody else goes for cover under the table whilst the shootout happens. Unfortunately for Cole, though, he doesn't manage to kill Dwight, and he's having to run away with his tail between his legs. And I know his daddy's going to be really pissed off with that in the next episode. But also, Quiet Ray is really pissed off because, as far as he's concerned, what the fuck? Somebody just tried to whack us, or me. It could be you. It could be a whole fucking plan. And so he's really pissed off with Dwight as well. Dwight, by the way, also blames Quiet Ray for the disappearance of Bill Babalacqua, but obviously we know that they've got nothing to do with Quiet Ray. Everyone's blaming each other for that. So yeah, it's crazy, absolutely crazy. All the shit that's been going on in this episode with People blaming each other for all manners of things. You can't trust anybody. You know, everyone. Sorry about all that noise. Everyone has um a secret to hide. At the same time, not everyone is involved in the shit that's been going on. It's other people. It's crazy. You know, who do you trust? I mean, we know what's going on, but we're viewers, we're watching it. But down there in that fucking show, nobody knows who to believe and what to believe about what, about anything. Even people alongside you. Goody, as far as he's concerned, fucking Vincent, not Vincent, sorry, Dwight did kill Bill Babolacqua, and he's just having to go along with it. You know, you know, because Dwight at the time when Goody and Dwight were talking, Dwight would try to change the subject. You know, like, but he knows he's got. But the reason why he's trying to change the subject is not to do with Bill; it's to do with the fact that he doesn't want to talk about the FBI. But how the hell does Goody know about this? You know, like, you know, Goody, as far as Goody's concerned, well, he's changing the subject regarding Bill, but he killed Bill. Kill Bill, no pun intended. There's like so much shit going on, like regarding who to believe and what to believe. You know, it's crazy. And I love it. I love it. You know, deception, secrets, bullshit. You know, all of that. That's just what it means to be in this game. And obviously, comeuppance is going to happen now. I mean, for instance, Dwight has taken all the alcohol from his location and tried to sell it off, bootleg it, old school prohibition style. And he taken out a couple of cops, not like killed them, but knocked them out and stuff like that. He might have to face repercussions from that. Obviously, Quiet Ray wants to go after Dwight, and so does obviously Dunmire, and then there's Bill Babolacqua as well, who's now holed up in jail. Eventually, he's going to be let out. And then the defense themselves, like, what the fuck? And don't forget the Watchmaker too. My God, there is so much shit having to fucking come to the end of all of this. It's crazy, and I think we're reaching the end soon. Like, we're at episode 6. What, 2 more episodes left? I have no idea how many episodes are there in the Tulsa King. Let me look at the previous seasons. Let me have a look at season. Let me have a look at season 2. How many episodes were there? There were 10 episodes in season 2, and was there how many episodes were in season 1? And there were 9 episodes in season 1. So who knows? Maybe there might be 11 episodes in season 3. Maybe there might be 10 or 9. Who knows? But regardless, we are past halfway. We are now, not saying at the end game, but we're definitely trying to head to that direction to a degree before, you know, we finally come to a conclusion. Maybe someone of significance might die. Maybe, I mean, Cleo, God, I hate to say it, maybe Cleo might get it, you know, and I hope she doesn't. I hope she doesn't, because the cliche of the girlfriend being killed in revenge from Mitch and stuff like that. Who knows? Maybe it might be Mitch. You know, Mitch has been reminiscing about the past a lot recently and how his life has turned around for the better. He was talking like that with Cleo. You know, how if it wasn't for Dwight, you know, his life wouldn't be the way it is. Dwight was like one of the best things that ever happened to him, and he surrounded himself with people he would never associate with, like Tyson and Bodie and Grace and so on. You know, like, this is all because of Dwight, and obviously he's got back with Cleo now. Maybe there's some closure with Dwight, and sorry, not Dwight, with Mitch, and maybe that could be a conclusion for him. Obviously, Amon's being killed off, but off screen means nothing. He hasn't been seen this fucking season. Oh God, I'm really worried that somebody, just to really raise the stakes, is going to get it. You know, and that concerns me, and I think it might be someone of significance. Anyway, let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Oh, by the way, when I say someone significant, I don't mean at the end of the season, before the end of the season, so we can get to the end of the season. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube, the greatest social media channel you never heard of. Leave a comment below and let me know what you think of this episode and your theories. I want to know. Bye-bye.